Nicola Roberts and we're talking about relationships.
As you grow up and your feelings start to change, you might find yourself having your first crush. Nicola, who was the first person you remember daydreaming about?
Like, my person in the band was Mark Owen from Take That. When I was young, I was like 10 or 11. But I had a boy in my class that I used to go out with when I was still in primary school, which is really odd.
Really young?
Yeah, really young.
Did you have the courage to speak to your first crush?
Well, when I met Mark Owen, I told him he was my first crush. But I think the boy in my class, like, it was just an understanding, and we were just like, yeah, we're gonna be pals.
Have you ever been in the situation where you fancied someone but they didn't fancy you back?
That's awful, isn't it? That's truly awful. Especially as a girl, because we always make more of it in our heads than actually what's happening. But my advice would be, is to just try not to fancy someone until they fancy you.
Can you remember your first date?
I didn't really have a first date because I had a boyfriend at 16 for 5 years. So I didn't really date. We just kind of stayed together for he was my teenage sweetheart for such a long time. So we used to kind of go around each other's houses and stuff like that, but we were too young for dates. We weren't like experiencing going to a restaurant. We didn't really have any money. So it was kind of like, it was too young for dates.
And what advice would you give your younger self now about dating?
Just like keep hold of your own heart and keep hold of your own head. Like, I think a lot of people, and girls are the worst for this, like they get carried away and just completely let themselves go, and then they end up getting hurt because boys are boys. So just to try and keep hold of yourself, really, I would say.
Thanks, Nicola, for talking to us about relationships.
Thank you.
If you want to know more or you have any questions, then visit the Lillette's Becoming a Teen website.
Some people feel uncomfortable talking to their parents, but I think if you broach your mum, they're more than likely to be okay and just to sort of sit you down and have a chat about it. It's just a really scary and slightly awkward moment.